Annamie, in some of my homework, I had read that prior to aligning yourself with the Green Party, you had attended some meetings in your local riding by the Liberal Party and the NDP Party. Why ultimately choose the Green Party?
My due diligence showed me very quickly that in terms of my own values, in terms of the impact that I hope to have by joining a political party, that the Green Party was by far the best option. The power is more evenly distributed between the leadership and the membership. That's very important, I think, when you're choosing to join a political party. And for someone with a background in policy analysis, I know how important the climate emergency is. I was really committed to only joining a party that had a serious plan. And then just generally, this is a time where we need to be unafraid of new and bold ideas. And the Green Party is also that party. It has that history and tradition.
There is a by-election just around the corner. The last time you came in fourth, Bill Morneau, of course, taking that seat. This time around, the Liberals have a respected broadcaster, Marcy Ian, who's in the running. It's been a Liberal riding. They've had it on lockdown since 1993. What's the backup plan?
There is no backup plan when you're in a by-election. You are running to win, and you can only think about winning. We have a fantastic team, and we know that people in Toronto Centre are looking for something different. It's been a very neglected riding. The legacy of those 27 years is higher crime rates, an opioid epidemic, high child poverty, and the riding being one of the least affordable ridings in not just the city, but in the country. And so people there, I'm hoping, will choose the representation that they deserve and realize they have not been getting it from the Liberals for all these years.
Let's just expand on that a little. If you're not in the House of Commons, how do you make an impact on Canadians?
Again, when you're in a by-election and you have hundreds of people who aren't sleeping and barely eating to help you get elected, the only option is winning. And so we're focused on winning that race. Let's say, in terms of what we know from the experience of others who have not had a seat and been leaders of federal parties, like Jack Layton, there's a tremendous amount of work that you can do outside in terms of building your party, building your base, being visible to the community. And particularly in a pandemic and given the restrictions on parliamentarians and the intensity of their committee work, there could be fantastic opportunities for me to make the kind of connections and begin the conversations I need to with people in Canada, should I not be in the House.
For 13 years, the Green Party has been associated with Elizabeth May. So do you stick to the party line, if you will, or do you carve your own path?
Well, a bit of Green Party 101 for people, and this is a big part of my job in the weeks and months to come, is to let people know that we do things differently. We are very committed to the idea that you can have a variety of views within a party and still be an effective political party. So we always seek consensus within our caucus, but I, as the leader, will never be ruling with any sort of an iron fist. That's absolutely not the Green way. So we share core values, and we always seek to speak with one voice. But our priority always are the people that we represent, and within our communities and our constituencies, and people in Canada in general.
Have you spoken with the other federal party leaders?
I had a lovely conversation with the Prime Minister where I told him that he could count on Green Party support in terms of collaboration to protect people in Canada during the pandemic. I think that that's been one of the very best things that we've seen emerge from the pandemic. I also told him that we would be holding him to account anytime that we felt that the government was falling short. And for that reason, we weren't able to support the speech from the throne. I have not received or had the pleasure of having any direct contact with any of the other leaders, but I would love to hear from them and see again how we can collaborate and cooperate wherever possible.
How would you tackle systemic racism?
Well, we unfortunately are not even as far ahead in acknowledging that it exists as I would have liked. We still have leadership at the very highest levels in our country that does not even recognize that systemic racism exists. So first, in order to tackle it, we need to acknowledge that it exists, that it is endemic to our institutions. And then we need to just dismantle and deconstruct it systematically. You look at every law, every policy, every institution, you identify where there are barriers, intentional or otherwise, and then you dismantle them one by one.
I want to borrow a few of your words, an unrelenting onslaught of attacks against you because you are Jewish. Some have suggested that there is an undercurrent of anti-Semitism in the Green Party. How do you tackle that?
This was a generalized comment about the attacks that I had received on social media. These weren't restricted to any sort of Green Party communications or groups. This is just something that took me by surprise, and it's something that unfortunately seems to still find space and succor in political life in Canada. It seems to me to be a generalized problem, and it's one that I'm asking for the help of every person in Canada who rejects anti-Semitism, discrimination, Islamophobia, any kind of racism, to call out every time they see it on behalf of people like me and on behalf of the community.